Greetings all. Welcome to Primal Sports Center. I'm your host, Dale.
And I'm Kane Schwab Watson.
Yes, we're back again. Another exciting week of sports.
Yeah, just had to have a cool drink before the show started. It's supposed to be a hot show today.
Yes. You know what's happening tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I mean.
The greatest show on earth
starts. 17 days of football every day.
Yes.
Straight. And some days you have 3 matches. First day, 1 match, but most days, 3 group stage, 3 matches on, and then, host of the best players in the world.
Excitement starts. Yes,
I can't wait. I've been waiting every 4 years for this, which, in my opinion, it shouldn't be every 4 years. It should be less. These guys need to represent their country at this level more often. Not just club football, but that's a debate for another day. But
we'll be featured our guest this week, Fraser McConnel.
If you're big on Jamaican sports,
yes, man, rally cross racing.
Yeah,
exciting, very exciting form of racing, boys. Yeah. It's slightly different, but when I tell you about excitement, cars flying through the air, drifting around corners. And this guy is stirring up a big fuss.
First Jamaican to reach at this level, and he break that down for us.
Big things,
how he come about to do all of this, and making waves.
Yes.
And he was nominated for Sportsman of the Year last year, and to me that's a big achievement. We know the likes of a host of Jamaican athletes like Bolt come from before Mike McCollum days, come straight down just to get nominated, and in the final 3, that's also a big thing. So
yes, and he seems to be maybe the top driver at the moment. No, he's all over the place, been featured all over.
Yeah. I'm sure he's not in Jamaica now, but wherever he is. Just to take the time out to give us this interview, we're grateful.
Yeah, so he will join us in about 5 minutes time.
About 3 minutes,
sit in and wait for that.
Yeah, but
yes, back to World Cup.
Yeah, not only World Cup,
but before he didn't even mention that England won the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, it went last week.
England. It's a trend, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out.
No, so just get off your chest. So what you saying?
I'm just saying everything is falling in line for England,
England to do what?
They win the Cricket World Cup, Yeah. And now I think they're going to do the double.
The double, what do we win?
The football. Yes, the World Cup.
England play NFL now.
Well, they had some matches.
So you said England going to win the World Cup? Wow.
Yeah, man. Everything is falling in line for England right now.
I think they have a better chance than Jamaica to win it because they're actually in it. But I will never bet on England to win the World Cup. But hey, they have the likes of Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Harry Maguire. But yeah, for that joke aside, England have good quality all over the pitch, and they have a good draw. They have one of the weaker groups, but the ball is round and they're in it to win it. But I wouldn't bet on England.
So the opening match is Qatar versus Ecuador.
Yeah. I have Ecuador. I have goals in that match though, but I have Ecuador winning that match. Any team from South America to come through that South American qualifying should have some potency, and I think that Qatar
is just a host.
Is the host, but remember South Africa made a bit of a stir when they hosted it. But hey. Let's see. We're not really looking forward to watch Qatar play, though. But
I don't think anybody will be betting on Qatar for that match. So odds probably 100-1.
No, nothing. Qatar
Ecuador is a big team, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
But I would say don't underestimate Qatar.
Okay.
But they ain't going anywhere. Just like England.
Right.
England going to top the group. Hey, sorry, English fans, but I'm not a fan of English football, so to say. But
matches on Tuesday.
Yeah, matches. We're going to break that down later down in the show. Group by group, and to me, the group of that is the group with Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and who is it? Croatia. I think Croatia. Don't miss them. I'm going to double check that, but I know that group is a tough group. To me, Moroccans playing decent football. Moroccans playing decent. Canada scored the most goals for a country last year out of any country. So, to win games, you have to score goals. So, Canada.
I think Canada is going to represent us well here in the region here, and qualifying from.
I think so. I think that group is going to be a shocker group. Yeah, I'll break that down further later on in the show, but that should be a an upset group to me because, you can't have a World Cup without upsets. Yeah. But, my favorites doing the World Cup. And later on in the show, I'll break that down. But right now...
Let us welcome the big man himself. Rallycross driver, Fraser McConnel. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for taking the time out. I know you're somewhere in the world preparing for some meet, but thanks for taking the time out. So break that down first. What's going on with you right now?
I'm back in the island now. Head out again Monday. But yeah, Nitro has been going good. We're sitting third in the championship after 6 rounds. We've gotten 1 win and 2 podiums. So I'm right up there in the mix and putting Jamaica on the map as usual. And then Monday I head out to Extreme. That's the electric rally, kind of more off-road style racing. And then back again to Nitro in January in Quebec in the ice.
Oh, in Canada.
Before we talk about what's happening current, let's take us back to your early days. How you got started off in racing?
Well, it started with motocross as a hobby, just riding a dirt bike for fun. Then we realized I wanted to race in a controlled environment. And then we went to Caymanas and started doing motocross there. Then, started getting some really big jumps, and with that came some big accidents. And, the faster the bike, the longer we'd jump. And mommy and daddy they said their heart couldn't manage it. So if it was going to continue, it had to be 4 wheels.
Yeah.
And that's when we transitioned to go-kart out at Palisados. Yeah. And, each year just worked our way up through the ranks. Faster engine, bigger kart, more competitive class. Each year we just kept going more and more until we got to Rally and Dover. And again, there we started at the bottom, worked our way up through the Dover class, with the bracket racing, right up through the fastest bracket. Then we went to the MP2. Each year was a baby step. We're never gonna take a huge step before we're ready to dominate what we're already doing. So, 1 step at a time, and then worked our way into Rallycross in 2018, and again, same thing, baby steps, all the way up to the most competitive series in Rallycross at the moment.
Yeah, tell us a little about Rallycross, because it's a little bit different than regular, what I say, NASCAR and the regular Dover. Tell us a little bit about it.
So Rallycross is a very short, intense, all or nothing kind of racing style. It's 4 laps in the heat races, 6 laps in the semifinal and final. And the track is comprised of 60% tarmac, 40% gravel. Sometimes it's always mixed up though. You could have 100% gravel, you could have 100% tarmac. You have some jumps in there. You have the Joker lap, which often throws people for a loop. Sometimes they don't really understand what it is, but it's a diversion from the regular track that everyone has to take once. And that's a big part of the strategy in Rallycross. But it's flat out racing as fast as you can go for the laps that you're racing, and leave it all out on the table, and it's a free for all brawl.
Yeah, while I was watching it, and it looked a little bit like X Games with.
Exactly. So X Games was Rallycross.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, yeah. So you've always been a daredevil, because it started out, you said, from bikes now to 4. So which one do you prefer overall? Dover, the race car driving, the bikes, or where you at now?
Well, I've stayed away from the bike as much as I can. I love it. That's where my passion started, and it's easy to get injured on those 2 wheels. So I try to stay away from them.
Yeah.
And I really urge everybody, if you're on the road or even on the trails, take your time. It can go sideways very quickly.
That's what bikes are for cars.
So that's for bikes.
Okay.
And in the cars, I only race in controlled environments. I very much discourage any street racing or any illegal type of racing. That for me is a big no-no. It's so much can happen in a blink of an eye before you have anything to do to stop it. So do it in a controlled environment, and that's what's so good about racing. You have all of these marshals, you have all the safety equipment, the ambulance, the marshals making sure nobody not coming on the track to make sure that you can go out there and push the car to the absolute limit without any external risk. So, you know, it's 4 wheels for me, but every time I'm behind the wheel, it's flat out.
Yep. We have any courses like that in Jamaica here?
Not that I'm familiar with. I know they have the there's a few ones coming up. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Okay.
But you know, I've been meaning to start the Oddman racing for a while now. I just haven't gotten the time to come around. The racing schedule has been absolutely hectic, along with my normal work schedule. So when we do get a little break in the calendar, I am going to start stuff to give people that can't afford necessarily afford Dover or afford Rally. You know, it's more of a accessible entry level motorsport that, you know, the average person can partake in and test their abilities on a closed circuit.
Mm-hmm. So take us through, for example, you're preparing for a race. Take us through a day preparing for a race, your team around you, you prepare, you know, your mindset, because I'm sure you have a team around you that, you know, make sure you're ready and that is in line, and then you just get in your car and get ready. But take us through that day when you prepare for that match time, because I want to get that feel, because I mean,
it's
different.
I'll have to take you back much more than a day.
Sure, I mean, take us like,
you know, preparations for a season start months in advance.
Yeah.
And, you know, I very much believe in the saying, if you're, you know, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yeah.
And the mental aspect of racing is a huge part that a lot of people don't see. And, you know, being able to dedicate your day, half an hour to your day, just to visualize and, you know, go through the processes of what you will be doing on race day. You know, race scenarios, weather condition, if I'm in the lead and this happens, if I'm behind and this happens, what do I do? Yeah. So that when it does happen, it's not a surprise. And that takes weeks and weeks and weeks to prepare for. And like I said, it can be done in one day. So, but on a given race day, you know, wake up, regular breakfast. But I'll probably start my race day routine, you know, 2 hours before the start of the first time I'm in the car. Debriefing with my engineers, going through the race strategy, watching clips from the day before. And then, you know, 45 minutes before my race, I'll suit up, do my warm up, listen to music, chill out, relax. And then 10 minutes before the car has to leave, I'm suited up, belted in, and just chilling.
Good. What I wanted to ask you about the cars, is it I was doing some research. Is it that everybody have the same engine? Everything is the same?
Exact same. So they're all built from the same manufacturer in Spain. The chassis are built in Sweden from OMSE.
Yeah.
The battery and power unit is built in Spain by QEV. And everybody has the same exact internals, same amount of power, same amount of weight, same size, everything. So it really comes down to who is driving the car at the best on the given day, who will be the fastest.
Okay, it's more skill. Who's the more skillful on the day?
Yeah,
it's a level playing field.
Yeah. A very level playing field. It takes budget out of the question.
Yeah.
And you know, the big thing, the only changes we really have is, you know, suspension changes and chassis setup. So you know, if I want this amount of camber, this amount of caster, toe in, toe out, change the high speed and low speed on the suspension, that kind of thing. But I can change the amount of power my battery is putting out, but everyone has the same maximum. So the only thing I'll be doing is taking down the power. If it's a slippery condition, for example. But you know, no one has a upper hand on anyone.
Yeah, so it's a bit different from like Dover and NASCAR. Not NASCAR, I should say. At Dover, you know, some people have bigger engines, faster cars.
Yeah, smaller cars.
So it's mostly in rallycross. It's really the driver. Yeah,
it comes down to the driver, especially in Nitro. Nitro Rallycross has done a good job with making sure everyone has a level playing field. Dover is a different story, you know. That's where the budget really makes a difference, and that's in my eyes is a shame. You know, I wish it wasn't like that. But you know, most racing, when series are stuck around for a very long time, without any massive change, everyone finds a way for it to come down to a budget race. So it's not to say that JRDC has done anything bad. It's just, it's been around for a very long time without any major adjustments. So, people have found the little nooks and crannies in the rules and regulations to make it a budget race. But Nitro's done a good job of being able to prevent that so far.
Yeah. So when is your next big race? Remind.
Right now I go to Uruguay on Monday, and that's for a Extreme E. That's the off-road rally. It bumps me every time. There's no genre like Extreme E. So if you don't know, it's a fully electric series, and it's a combination between rally, endurance rally, rallycross, and like it's a fully electric, and they have a big emphasis on the environment as well. So, for example, when I went to race in Italy with them, Italy had been suffering a lot from wildfires, and their big thing is raising awareness. So we went and raced on burnt grounds in Sardinia to raise awareness for climate change, saying that places like these are suffering from climate change, as well as just focusing on racing as well and making racing exciting. Now we're going to Uruguay, and there's an announcement coming soon, so stay tuned to my social media to keep up on that. But I'm not gonna spill the big news now, but it's something very exciting coming.
Okay.
What's the biggest event in which one of the cups is the biggest one in racing?
In rallycross.
Yeah, man. Which is the biggest, the biggest thing?
The World Cup of
rallycross.
Oh man, I said there's a world championship, and that goes without saying that our world championship is very prestigious. But Nitro has done a good job of surpassing that engagement level with big gap jumps, very big bank turns, fast corners. And if you were to ask me right now, I would say the Nitro championship is the championship to be in, and that's what everyone is shooting for. So we're third in the championship now, with 3 rounds to go, and a lot to play for.
So you can actually win. You within striking distance.
Yeah, man.
No, definitely. Okay. In it to win it. So tell us to date, what is your most memorable moment? It doesn't have to be a victory, but I mean, to you, when you look back so far, like maybe a few stand up, but you look back and be like, yeah, that was that feeling, that most memorable one.
Well, I'll have to take it back to 2017 when I'm the youngest to ever win Rally Jamaica. Yeah. And, that's what kind of sparked my interest as a youth growing up, being in Bogwalk on the Choo-Choo's farm, waking up every first weekend in December to see the cars drive by the house or nearby, or see a dust cloud, or you hear them, you can smell the race gas. And that's what kind of sparked me to be like, I want to be like one of these guys one day.
Yeah.
And when we won the Rally Jamaica in 2017, that was a huge bucket list check off for me, which I'm still very proud about to this day.
What age were you when you won the first? You said you're the youngest. What age was that?
Let's see if my maths have no use. I would have been 17. No, 17. I would have just turned 18.
Okay. Creating history. All right, but I want to thank you for taking the time out to speak with us here on Primal, and keep us posted.
Yeah,
and congratulations and keep keep it up.
Yeah,
I see you showing you're doing the bold sign and the car and things.
Yeah,
man. Enough respect, and I see you're representing the colors and things. So enough respect for that.
Yeah, man, big thanks, and thanks for having me. And check out my social media at Fraser McConnel on Instagram.
And it's a big thing coming up.
Yeah, that big a nice announcement coming up soon.
All right. We'll definitely follow and check it out. Thanks for taking the time out.
Fraser McConnel.
Cool, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. You can see the passion. I mean, it all comes on to
big driver. I like about rallycross is that level playing field.
Yeah.
Nobody have an advantage. So you can know say it's a big driver.
Yeah. It's not like I playing table tennis and Peter juice up in racket and all of that. Those days are out now.
Illegal glue and all kind of thing.
Yeah, boosting his rubbers and all of that. But
yeah,
I mean, because to me, that is fair.
That's the way I always wanted to see. You know, when we got Dover here and this guy them guys winning all the time.
Who have the bigger engine or who have a faster car, who have the better car.
More cash.
More cash in the car.
Who have more money.
Yeah, so we just jump in a car, same car.
There's no skill. There's skill, but I mean, it's not proving that you're more.
Who is a better driver? This proves who is a better driver.
Yeah, man,
because if I race Peter down the road now, Peter is definitely going to win because he's in the better, faster car,
the bigger machine.
Yeah, so I soon go re-up and get the bigger machine, and then we take it to the streets because I can't match him in jiu-jitsu yet. But I mean, doing big things and. We'll check out that page and say big things coming up.
Yeah, man, and guys that's listening, trust me.
Uruguay next. I mean,
Rallycross is an exciting, exciting form of racing.
If you know anything about X Games, I remember when X Games the show.
Cars flying through the air, jumping all over, drifting around the car. Yeah, man, really exciting, really exciting. So guys, you can check it out.
And he's a Jamaican taking it to the world, going all over. If you check out his bio, I mean, follow his page, you see him represent. He's going Uruguay next. I mean, Canada. I mean, in Europe, and I mean quality, beating quality opponents is not just in your backyard where you're doing this and doing that. It's all over the world, and getting that sports nomination last year was definitely deserved. And in the future, you may even win it.
Maybe
it seems to be improving.
Maybe becoming the number one very soon as well.
Yeah, it should be out there advertised more in the public.
Yeah, man. Big up Fraser McConnel again.
Yeah, man. And I'm sure we can get him on the show later on after him win that championship down in Canada. I mean, I hope he does great things or continue to do great things. Yeah.
Yes, Ken. We have to continue on the topic of football.
Yeah, before we touch on World Cup, I mean, a little schoolboy football.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because, after Controversial Boss does his commentary, I mean, we just go dive straight into World Cup. So we have the semi-finals in the Manning Cup, which are KC versus Stats, 6:15 on Tuesday. The curtain raiser, Mona versus JC. I mean, as we expected, that would have been the lineup, and I see a JC final.
You kind of hesitate a while ago. You think Mona can do something?
I mean, Craig Butler said it in his interview that I saw an interview with him saying that it doesn't matter who won the match between KC and Mona, but it's either him play KC twice, and JC once, or. Yeah, so him rule out Stats there, but him have himself playing KC twice, which is a KC Mona final. I
won't rule out Craig. I won't rule out Mona against a JC.
I won't rule them out. I'm just telling them what.
Yeah. Well, I was telling me I would never rule them out because based on how I see them play, the press. And sometimes them look kind of scrappy, but them have a system.
Yeah, and them have a goal scorers too as well.
Yeah. Them never stop. Never stop. We saw how dramatic Craig was on the sideline.
Wow, I tell you.
Yeah, man, exciting. It was a good match. Last week was a good match to watch. Boy. So
have the Champions Cup.
KC is definitely
the
favorite for the Manning Cup. Earlier I saw Whisper play. I wasn't that impressed, but as the season went along and I started to watch him more and more, this guy is a great player. Yeah, great player. 16, and I think that John Richards, for those who don't know the correct name,
and I think he'll only play 1 year Manning Cup.
I think so too.
I don't think.
But Craig said he's going to Belgium.
Yeah, he's going to Europe and. Hopefully he has the right team, right mentality. And I mean, a lot of youngsters, we say, don't make that transition, but with the right set of people around him, and I mean, he has the skill set and assets. He's tall, big, 16, technical ability good so far. He still can improve. I mean, quick.
Very quick.
Yeah,
very
and
quick.
strong.
Very
and he's
quick.
only 16. So, I mean, if he's nurtured right, he's one for the future and one for the Reggae Boys. Next World Cup campaign, because 4 years from now, 20-year-old.
Yeah, he should.
I mean,
he deserve a call up right now. Just start giving him international caps from early.
Get him out there.
Get them in the system.
Yeah.
But I know Craig and the team around him will definitely get him to that level. Craig is a marketing genius, if you ask me. In terms of marketing his players and putting them in the best situation to become successful. So big up to Richards again. I hope him continue on the journey because we need some good strikers like him.
And I mean, I wouldn't mind him lifting the Manning Cup trophy as well.
Of course, seeing that, of course.
He's probably his only one year in Manning Cup, and he's definitely the top baller in Manning Cup. We see a lot of good quality ballers.
JC have a one or two quality players.
Mona as well.
Mona.
Stats as well. I mean, all the teams that made it is for some people that we need to nurture. But so even so, speaking about schoolboy football, Champions Cup is on today. This is where it is dubbed Controversies Town.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
rural versus urban.
Yeah. So we have Clarendon College versus Mona started at 4. Started about 25 minutes ago
at Sabina
Park to be followed by Casey and Central High.
Okay.
So that's 6:15. And Stets and Jamaica College will be playing out at Stets. And we have Manchester versus Stats. Out by Stets. That's where.
Hey, Kane, remember a couple of years ago how big this cup was?
Yeah, and
it still is big, but you remember
the buzz around it when it was Flow Cup.
When it was Flow Cup, I was wondering how did it reach to this point?
Sponsors and
boy, sometimes I wonder about Issa. They had such a great product. It was marketed well. Everything was just good about the cup before. Now sometimes it's a little bit watered down. But I hope that Issa can get back the hype and the marketing behind this cup. It's a great cup, because urban versus rural. It's a big rivalry right now. I'm sure Sabina Park
is buzzing. Already. And I'll be there after Primal show to watch Casey versus Central. I made a mistake there. It's JC versus Manning at Stets. So it's not JC versus Stets, but it's JC versus Manning at Stets, followed by Stats and Manchester High. And then qualifying after that next week will be more matches. So we'll see how Controversies Town plays out. I mean, again, I'm going with the North Street Purples. So, I mean...
CC, I hear playing quality football.
CC, I play good for all. You have to be careful when you say CC,
because
Cornwall said them are the original CC. And Clarendon College said them are the only CC.
But Clarendon playing big football, attractive football, I would say. Attractive football. Them dubbed them as the Spain schoolboy football, the tiki-taka.
I hear the playing
possession of ball and ball possession, and I hear they playing well under coach Lenny Hyde.
Show
Teacher Hyde.
I mean, I haven't watched a match with them yet, but the buzz around at Clarendon College are the big schoolboy team, and I mean, all other schoolboy teams that are left in it have something to say about that. So we'll see who is crowned at the end of the day. Remember, so we have Manning Cup, we have the Costa Cup, and then Oliver Shield and Champions Cup. So all these schoolboy football cups will be decided in a matter of weeks.
Anybody ever take all 3 titles in one season, all 4?
Yeah, I think JC did it.
JC did it?
No. JC didn't do it. I don't think anybody, because it's a new cup. It's a new cup. So
it's relatively new. It's
relatively Champions Cup.
2014, 2015.
I don't think anybody.
George's almost, but they didn't close out for the Manning Cup. They lost the JC 1-0.
We'll check back that stats. That stats. But I mean, hey,
a lot of
this
football,
this year we could see
football,
somebody doing it. I mean, but yeah.
Well, no, you know what time is it already? This time for sports commentary.
The controversial boss doing his final wrap up in the back. So come on,
Yeah, everybody a little bit late today. All right, time for sports commentary with Peter Muya.
Evening, guys. Doing some work at the last minute. What a great thing to see Fraser McConnel. I don't know if you guys have watched the videos, but I am amazed at how much time that car is in the air. And as he's showing you, you don't just follow the track round and round. There's a part that you deviate off the track and you perform something and you come back on. And it's amazing that the amount of injuries and mishaps this kind of racing must have, the amount of skill and courage that it takes. I don't know how his parents allow him to think. It's a very risky looking thing.
Yeah.
And when I first saw the video, I thought I was watching a video game. I didn't know it was real. So afterwards I see this guy come out of the car and think, I say, wait, that's a Jamaican. Amazing job, man. Amazing. So that was good of Fraser to come on. But time for sports commentary. Now, I usually commentate on sports, but this time I have to come off the thing. I've been listening to this radio station, Zip 100 FM. Most drive time, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Friend of mine, Simon Tomlinson, comes on. National table tennis player. And he's on, he has a very entertaining show. But I think they made a misstep this time around. There was a big strike by taximen. And there was a thug, a brutish fellow, a doltish clown, a coot, who used a stick to chase some people out of the car, and it was caught on video. Get out of the car, and he was threatening the public. An act of brutality, an act of cowardice. To my shock and surprise, Zip 100 bring the man on to treat him like a celebrity. And in addition, they presented him with a prize, a button wrapped with a yellow ribbon. Absolute disgrace. I felt embarrassed as a Jamaican. I mean, I hear about Papi Show, but that is way past Papi Show, man. That person should never be on the air again. Whoever's doltish idea that was. What the hell that have to do with sports? Absolutely nothing. But I'm a sports commentator, and I reserve the right to use my platform to say that that could never happen on Primal. So, why am I on the air? Must be because of my amazing ability to predict. UFC 281 on this station 7 days ago. Kane Watson looked me in the eye, a jiu-jitsu master, and said to me, what the hell you know about jiu-jitsu? I said to him, listen, son, I've been in this game long time. Adesanya was fighting against Pereira, and I told him that Adesanya would be knocked out by Pereira. Adesanya said he's the last style bender. Well, he got his style bended because Pereira KO'd him with time to spare in the third round. I don't know how people don't make bets off me. You all should be living well if you made bets off me.
In the fifth round.
I know Kane is feeling.
In the fifth round.
I know Kane is feeling rather humbled by going up against me. And sir, it's your fault. It's your fault for going up against me. I'm going to take that title of the Schwab one day soon. So, Djokovic will be in Australia because he's been handed a judgment. It's been overturned. That the ban on him for going into Australia without proper credentials, vaccine, and so on. So we look forward to Djokovic. You didn't come to your senses and get the vaccine, but at least you'll be able to come to Australia. We'll be able to watch some tennis. But onto the table. There's too much table tennis going on. 4, 5, 6 high-level tournaments in a row. Chinese national championships was won by Fan Zhendong, beating Lin Gaoyuan, the practice partner, in the finals. The prodigy Wang Chuqin didn't show up. I think I said it last week. But they took Lin Gaoyuan to the Asian Games, along with Wang Chuqin as the two big Chinese entering the Asian top 16. And by the time it got to semifinals, there was no Chinese around. It's always a mistake to take Lin Gaoyuan to a tournament because he never does well. He's a never man in my opinion. But Wang Chuqin, disappointed, losing to a Korean. Also, Manika Batra, Indian player with long pips, young player, actually got to the semifinals. Good on you, India. Didn't know India had any women table tennis players.
Good women table tennis
so players. Good on you. Now, one of the big controversies this week is the big Ronaldo interview. Ronaldo went on the air and he didn't hold any punches. He said that he not respect the coach and the coach does not respect him. I know the coach doesn't respect him because of the treatment that this guy's been handing to Ronaldo. And the English media seems to be more sympathetic to Ten Hag, but I'm sympathetic to Ronaldo. Let me tell you why. When you're a player, you don't have the outlets that the manager has for expression. And therefore, the things that he has done, some truancy, didn't want to take the field with 1 minute to go, didn't want to do certain things and show this attitude. So his outlet had to be to talk to Piers Morgan and tell it like he saw it. And I'm with you, Ronaldo. I support what you're doing. But the fact of the matter is that he's not going to continue at Manchester United. And so something else I predicted, which is why I get this job at Primal Sports. My predictive ability, did I remind you? The Manchester United is doing something that I predicted. They're negotiating with Kylian Mbappe. You don't remember I said that some time ago. They're very close to a deal with Mbappe, even though Mbappe is currently playing with PSG, one of the best upfront trials you're seeing in football right now. But Mbappe wants to be the star boy. And so if he goes to Manchester, he'll be the star boy. You remember I had proposed this some time ago. Looks like they're paying attention to the controversy boss. Football. Big JFF match in Montego Bay. Jamaica is playing, Reggae Boys playing against Reggae Girls. Is playing against, is it Ecuador? Paraguay, one of these smaller countries. And it was not televised. So they asked the General Secretary, why didn't you show this to people in St. Thomas, people in Kingston, people in Kingston? Did I say Kingston? Well, guess what? It wasn't televised, he's claiming, because they wanted to fill the stadium up. That's total rubbish, total nonsense. We all can't go to the stadium. We all pay our light bill, water bill, whatever bills it is. The match should have been televised. The Reggae Girls deserve the exposure, the support. Yeah. And so I think it is a travesty. And if this is a policy, it's going to be a short-lived policy, as will the existence of the JFF. Now, Jack Warner from Trinidad, my good friend, just lost his appeal, and he might soon have to answer to Uncle Sam. It's a big debate on the internet about whether US has the jurisdiction to try this man, etc., etc. But one thing I can tell you, if the US get you, they're gonna get you. The truth of the matter is that Jack Warner is putting up a lot of technical defenses about who has jurisdiction and so on. But the fact of the matter is that the awarding of the World Cup was done corruptly. And so the US is searching for that corruption. In fact, we in the world, we have to thank the USA, for finding corruption. Because many times corruption exists, and it's the US, the nosy neighbor from North, who has to interfere in order to get us to think. But I have one question for everybody, Somebody educate me. Why is Jack Warner a Trinidadian? Trinidad is a republic, Trinidad and Tobago. The head of state is the president of Trinidad and Tobago. Why are they appealing to the United Kingdom Privy Council, Her Majesty the Queen, for judgment in what a Trinidad court can do?
The Queen?
Yes, the Privy Council. I don't understand why a Trinidadian final court of appeal is the Privy Council. Is not them from the Caribbean court? Isn't that them that became a republic? Jamaica can claim that the Queen is still the head of state, and therefore I can understand why a Jamaican would have to appeal to the Privy Council. That's a legal matter, and in my other legal activities, we will research that and come back to you some more. Now, one commentator here said something about the group of death. This concept of a group of death at a World Cup. Let me tell you something. Every group in a World Cup is a group of death. If you lose, it's death. But the question is there a group that is more dangerous than the other? Well, I'm a mathematician, and the only way I can judge what's the group of death is to judge by mathematics what's the strongest group, and by mathematics what's the weakest group. I don't understand the concept of a group of death. Any group the English are in, they call it group of death. In case they lose early, it's the group of death. And I don't accept that they are in the group of death. So which group is the
toughest group?
The weakest group. And how do we judge the weakest group? The weakest group must have, we add up everybody's ranking, work out the average ranking, we have the spread, what you call the variance, and then we work out the group. So the toughest group is, in fact, by my mathematics, England, USA, Iran, and Wales. It's the toughest group because the average world ranking of these groups is 15. And the spread between the highest group and the lowest player is 15 points. And if by that, it's the most average group. It's the most average group of average players. I don't know if that qualifies a group of death. What about the strongest group by virtue of the biggest spread between them? Is that the group of death for the weakest players in the group? Because that group would be the group with Netherlands, Senegal, Ecuador, and Qatar. Obviously, Qatar is going to be the weakest group. Because in that group, the average world ranking is 30, mostly caused by Qatar. And the spread is 48 ranking between the strongest and the weakest. But like I said, whatever group you're in the World Cup, one thing is certain: death. Most certain thing. That's sports commentary. What say you?
Yeah. Very, very interesting way to quantify what's the weakest group and what's the strongest group. But I mean,
that's actually good enough.
It is, but to me, you're going off the world ranking, and to me, that is always skewed.
Yes.
It's always skewed.
Yes.
I mean, who is the number one ranked team in the world? Peter, who's the number one ranked team in the world? Brazil. So, who has the best form going into World Cup?
Argentina.
So why aren't they the number one ranked team in the world?
Yeah, but
Argentina is an unbeaten streak of 36 games, I think. Yeah. 2 games away from the record, which is held by Italy.
Won the Copa America beating Brazil.
So, I mean, world ranking is somewhat...
As usual, in every
it's
sport.
skewed, and it depends on your activity level and who you play your opponents, so on and so forth. But it's still an interesting way to break it down. But to me, why I say the toughest group would be Group F, which is Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia, is because, I mean, who we have coming out the group.
Okay.
If you can really determine 2 clear-cut people to come out the group, you can, but most people, it varies of opinion and say, all right, that team is in form, that team. Morocco is ranked 22 in the world, I think. Okay. That's a high ranking. Versus who is the lowest ranked team in the group. I think Morocco is probably, I'll have to double check that. Canada scored the most goals last year out of any country. So, by virtue of you looking at stats and all that, you have to put everything in the basket. And Belgium is not so unformed, but Belgium have quality players. Belgium have one of the best midfielders in the world. And to me, I mean, it's just to pick, predictions and to see who really is to come out of the group. But I mean, it's World Cup time, people.
The phone line is now open. The number is 876-552-7406. That's 876-552-7406 via WhatsApp only.
Yeah, so I mean, feel free to call in and talk about anything. Yeah. I mean, you can speak about the amazing interview earlier on World Cup, but
I hear Peter touch on some nice things here. Just the tennis. I'm happy that Novak will be back. I told you guys that Australia would have opened the doors for him.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm
goes to show that where's COVID now, but that's
another topic.
Right? For a different day.
The next thing that Peter touched on, Peter, you touched on this Indian girl, this table tennis girl. You were the one who was bashing this girl earlier this year on a platform, about junk rubber and no chance, and I think you have to eat some of your words though.
I mean, she's a solid player. She's been playing for a couple years now.
Nice player.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Greetings,
Mr. Mayor. How you doing? Giving a call out to some of our
former guest
callers, and tell us World Cup predictions. Who you having in the World Cup? I know you're a big sports fan, so you must be ready and tune in for the World Cup starting tomorrow.
Yeah, well, listen, in not to age myself, but 1978, I went to play football one day. They called me Mario Kempes.
Yeah.
I've always supported Argentina, so I only carry one team, Argentina.
So you're going to Argentina?
100%. I only carry one team.
There you go.
Argentina,
we know this is a still conversation. Everybody been having Maradona and Messi, but since you're an Argentina fan from way back when, compare the two footballers.
Listen, I always have bias towards Maradona. I think Maradona is, he's because of the World Cup win. He has that in his corner. But I think Messi has just had more consistent success.
Okay.
Especially in the various leagues that he's been a part of. And so I think if Argentina should win this year, I think he would end the debate. I think Messi would move ahead. But at this point, slight sentimental edge to Maradona.
Okay.
Both are excellent.
Oh, you grew up with it. Yeah, I understand that. You grew up with Maradona, so we can understand that.
Well, I'm lobbying for World Cup to play every 2 years. I mean, to wait every 4 years to see this great show is it's tough. I mean, for a 4-year cycle to wait to play, it's tough. And I mean, yeah.
Listen, I'll be frank with you. I prefer Maradona, but if I think I would look more objectively, I would side more with Messi because he has just been like a player of the year so many times.
Yeah.
He's just dominated the world stage on the new some occasions.
Yeah.
With Maradona, I always saw people always had him on the ground. Every time he got the ball, people were hitting the door.
Yeah.
But both had magic. Both have magic and both are definitely, unquestionably the top 5 of all times, right? I have Pele up there. So those are my top 3. Pele,
Maradona.
and Maradona.
Okay. Yeah. But those are...
So any other team out there that you see can create an upset, a dark horse or something for the World Cup? You have a second team that you're looking at, you're kind of eyeballing that might... Go ahead.
Brazil is always a team to beat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They come, they always have a good unit. West Germany is always a formidable unit. It's rare you don't see West Germany come forward and not at least in the semi-finals. So I think England may have some outside chances, but again, for me, the Brazil, West Germany.
We're not in the Oliver, 1 second, we're not in the 70s, Are you saying West Germany?
Germany. Yeah. There's nowhere east of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but we know what you're saying.
We know what you mean, sir. All right, dear Oliver. So, but thank. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am. As I mentioned at the start, I pretty much when it comes to football, I will hold for particular teams. Through thick and thin. I'm not. I know it's like $1 one this. Because I just have my team for football, and so I would follow that team and World Cup can be a little more for me if they exit too early.
Yeah.
But, last World Cup I thought was an excellent one. Lots of goals scored, and there was a lot of enthusiasm right down to the end. And another tournament where we have a lot of goals. I don't like when it's a defensive tournament, where games are being separated by the 1-0 victory. I prefer to see plenty goals, and so I hope the strikers dominate this year. So regardless of who wins, I'll just score of a 5-2 or a 4-3 or something, where plenty goals are scored.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to most. And the South American teams tend to bring out the goals. European historically have been more defensive. I hope they all go for more goals this year, and so we can have an exciting tournament.
All right, Oliver. Thank you for your input.
All right, take care.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's Oliver Mir right there.
Argentina, Mario Kempes. Yeah, but a lot of people going with Argentina.
Yes,
a lot of people want to see Messi win. I mean, the greatest football ever deserves the greatest trophy.
Even though I don't think he's going to be the greatest in my eyes, but I would love to see him win this World Cup.
So if he wins this World Cup, he's not the greatest ever?
Not in my eyes.
Who's the greatest ever?
No, I go in with Maradona.
Why?
And I'll tell you the reason why. But I'm rooting for Messi. I really want him to win this year. I'm rooting
and why
for
would
Messi.
Why would you say Maradona is?
No, I'm always gonna go with the man that makes things happen when nothing is going on. The man that can just pull out anything in a split of a second. The bulldog.
All of them can do that. All of them can do that.
The bulldog. I call him the bulldog. I'll go with the man that can just make something happen out of nothing.
Yeah. Which is what?
No, Messi, as I said, Messi is good.
Messi do that more. But the thing is, what you just explained, Messi do that more times than anybody else. that make stuff happen.
You know. For me, what stands out for me is just that whole Napoli thing that what Maradona did. You know, I was hoping that
16 goals and 9 assists.
I was hoping it's not about the stats. It's about the energy that you bring to the team and the energy that you input on your teammates.
One season.
The influence.
One season.
Yeah, man. The influence that Maradona have on the teammates is it's. I don't see Messi creating that kind of energy.
No, man. But I saw an interview with the keeper from Argentina, and they asked him and said, "What type of leader Messi is?" Man said, "Messi is our leader."
Yeah.
When Messi talks, no matter who you are in the room, if you're the manager, you keep quiet. If you're the president of Argentina, you keep quiet. Everybody sits down and listens to Messi. So and the team sacrifices Messi and sees him as their leader. And Messi is a leader. If the people, if the teammates are saying that,
let me ask you something, Kane. You think the goalkeeper can say anything outside of that? That's what. Don't answer that one.
But what if it's so?
It can be so.
Why would you come and say a lie?
Maybe they ask him a question. You can't say he's not a leader. They have to say everybody have to listen to the big man. But
so you would say to the big man.
Rightfully so. But you see that on the field?
Yeah. Let
me ask. If you watch a Maradona game, you can say outright, even if you didn't know it was Maradona, that this man is a general of the army. You could see it on the field. When I watch Messi play, yes, I see the skill, but I don't see that body language like what I see with a Maradona. That's all I'm saying. Nobody have to tell me that when Maradona talk, people listen. I can see it by the way he play on the field and the way he conduct himself. Sometimes I see Messi is kind of just, I don't see that with Messi.
No, I see.
You see that? You see the general, the leader.
Yeah. Get that man the ball.
I don't see. But anyway.
Well, if he's on the field and I see 3-4 players run him all the time, I'm like, why is 3-4 players always around that man? It's like, why this man draws so much attention? When him get the ball now, why even more attention? When him don't have the ball, why so much attention?
No, that's not what.
When him teammates get the ball and looking for him, why everybody looking to get that man the ball? Because that man make things happen.
Yeah, well.
Just like Maradona. And if you compare, Peter just give us a bunch of numbers and quantify. If you quantify it, Maradona's best season is probably 16 goals and 9 assists.
Yeah.
Messi do that in 15 games. Messi scored 91 goals in a calendar year.
Yes,
Do you know how astronomical that is?
Yes. We all agree with that.
And I'm going to ask this question. We have athletes and be like, they're in their prime. When is prime Messi? Messi doesn't have a prime. Messi is just prime.
It's a bit
From 17 to 35, Messi is just prime. If we look at Michael Jordan prime was the early 90s. We look at both. You look at all of their primes.
Let me ask you something.
Messi do have a prime.
You believe when you look at all the sports now, you realize that people staying longer in sports now. Because the things evolve. Yeah. People know the nutrition. Everybody have private planes. Or they have their own private this, private that. Back in these guys probably be traveling and public transportation or whatever you call it, regular commercial flights. Messi, they have their own jet. The nutrition is different. Everything is different. So these guys can play longer. They will last longer. You can see it in the NBA. You see it in many other sports. Tom Brady, NFL. So sometimes you have to look at the time in which these guys played in, and football was rough. Back in the day.
So then again.
So I'm just saying you can't use all the stats.
No, we're not using all the stats. I'm not just a statsman. I'm saying based on Peter's.
Football change.
And you and Peter like to just look on raw numbers. Yes. No, I don't.
I don't look at numbers.
The impact that Messi has had is.
Yes.
No, and Messi the eye test. I can see why people say Maradona is good.
The bulldog, I'm going with the rod.
I can see why people say Pele. I don't see why people say Pele. But Pele is different times. In his time, he dominated. And definitely top 3 footballers all the time. And other people are in the mix. And realistically, what if Portugal wins the World Cup? What would CR7 fans say?
I didn't know. I hear people talking about Portugal, you know.
People talk about a lot. I hear somebody mention England too.
Well, come on. Yeah, man. England.
Yeah,
it's destiny.
It's destiny. But
if Portugal win this Ronaldo guy, let me just stray for a minute. Because Peter said something, and Peter is siding with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Do we know what's going on behind closed doors?
That's why he came out and spoke.
So
he was saying that people need to know the truth.
Also, his truth.
Yes. Well, he spoke facts that people don't know about. So he was just telling his side of the story. I mean, that's the most he can give. So we want to hear.
This coach was just out to get him from the start. Did Ronaldo contribute anything to the situation?
It's not just the coach, because he stated the board,
yes,
and other people around don't want him at the club.
So why did this?
But he was going into a situation which he's accustomed to, because he was at Manchester United in his early career.
Yeah,
and it's a different Manchester United now, because
different environment. In
his interview, he said since Sir Alex Ferguson left the club, they are going backwards. They have no succession planning. It's all about marketing and not the football on the pitch. Where you left that environment and you're going back, you're expecting that, because Manchester United is a global club, a global brand, and he's saying, all right, champions. He can't settle for mediocrity, and he doesn't settle for mediocrity. And what the Glazers are doing, which is the owners, he said he's never met the Glazers. The owners, how can you own Manchester United and not meet Cristiano Ronaldo? Okay. He said they don't have no business of football. They're just in it for business. Yeah, business. He's saying the coach and around not fitting him in his plans. Because since he went there, he wasn't the coach, and his coach come in. His coach come in and see him now and trying to push him out. And even before, they said they hired the coach before, Ralph Ragnick, and he's not a coach. Man said, how can you appoint a man that is not a coach to be the coach? A man that in around the management and operations of football to be the coach. Man said, the business, what him expect of Manchester United is not football. It's not football. It's more about the money business. And then now, where you're saying that he left pre-season because his daughter was sick and they didn't believe that. So walking out on the team are not coming. They say no walking out on the team. So the second time happened, they put him on in the 88 minutes. We already discussed this in a show before. Him saying, and when the week before him saying not going to put him on because him not lost at what they really want and what they're doing. So him not going to be puppeted.
Okay.
And him putting the body at work, and he's 37 years old. And I mean,
so you don't think that there's
he's not 10-20-year-old
that Ronaldo did in the initial stages? You don't think that?
Of course, must be something.
As I'm saying it cannot be all about the Glazers and the coach. And
I'm not putting in the Glazers part about the owners and all this kind of thing. I don't think that's relevant. What I think happened though is that if you make a decision to bring a marquee player to your club, which they did. They gave him the time the year before, and he rewarded that faith. Yeah. He scored what, 18, 20 goals, something like that. He was the top scorer, as usual. Okay. He's in the top 6 English strikers in the league. And then you start the year, and you bench him 4 times out of 12 matches, something like that. Obviously, coming from the bench, he's not going to be able to produce those results.
Of course.
You can't produce. He's not going to be happy. And even so, and if the people on the field
don't like,
they're not producing either.
and then you're coming on the back of a failure. You're bringing a new coach. If the new coach not happy with him, make it clear.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
After
One pride. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, tell us his. I mean,
it's the biggest story in the world right now.
Yeah.
It is the biggest story in sports.
The cusp of the World Cup.
He knows how to cut the headlines, but such.
You're breaking up. Not hearing him. Yeah.
He knows
Go ahead.
You hear me now?
Yeah,
yes.
Hearing you.
Yes, so he's in a little position now, and I agree with Peter. I would say I'm Ronaldo in this one. Irrespective of whatever he has done, which probably would have been not showing up for preseason training, and even in the interview which I watched, which are around 90 minutes long or something like that, he even said that when he came back to the club and Ten Hag said, hey, you don't need preseason, you can just come in the side or whatever. And it's like, oh, all right then. So the only initial thing that he did was just not show for preseason and for family-related issues. From the get-go, Ronaldo had said that he wanted to leave. Ten Hag said, hey, you're a part of my plans, but you're not showing where the plan is here. What plan? Is it that he should be rubbing the bench and he come on at a super or what? So he's not going to settle for not playing. He wants to play. And it's like, you get that feeling from him where if he's not playing, he's uncomfortable. I used to Messi outshining him, and you know that these two are probably football's greatest rivalry right now. And Messi's outshining him after having a poor season. I guess this is Ronaldo's poor season, and he wants to play. Persons are saying that
what you call? Sorry to cut you. What you call poor season? What you call poor season?
You wouldn't make that slide.
Hey. Messi's poor season is better than a lot of people's great season, but it's not a poor season. He had a subpar season based on his numbers.
I want to remind you doing
it. Go ahead.
Wait, Carla, just 1 second. I want to remind you something. Messi first few starts at PSG were disappointing, which is expected, which you'd expect. But I'm saying every player need a time to gel within team.
And I mean, the team won.
Eventually.
But I'm just saying, I wouldn't say poor season. Go ahead. Subpar, yeah. Poor, for his standards. No, you're talking. For the standard that we're used to. Because if you reel out the numbers, poor season by what standard? It's better than Maradona's best season. And Maradona is the greatest player ever. So don't say poor season. Subpar based on his standards. Yeah. Go ahead.
I need to disagree. And I guess this year's Ronaldo's year to have that type of season where it's just not going his way.
He's not on the pitch as much.
You can't score on the bench.
You can't find form on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he needs game time. He needs to find a way. I think it's time for him to go. He should leave, and not just because.
Man, you just find a way to let him go based on breach of contract with the interview and all of that, taking down his mural from the stadium. So they'll probably part ways after this World Cup, which I think will better both parties.
I think the media just spilling this thing a little bit too much because Ronaldo is not the only one that was on that board. I think Beckham was on the board too, but you know what they will do? They will just take a picture of the part that where Ronaldo is being taken out and they say, hey, Ronaldo is being taken off the wall and blah, 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 blah. So I think the media is blowing things out of proportion. And if you really listen to the entire interview, the media take out excerpts out of it, the snippets out of it, and just spin it. But everything, there was something said before whatever was being said. You get me? So the entire interview, it was basically about his family and his life, and then it went over into Man U and all the things that happened. But I don't see him returning in January. I don't know.
I think it's best for both parties.
I don't say
for all parties involved, it's better the part ways. And you mean?
Yeah, I'm making this mutually part ways. It's all it's done. The financial part of it.
It's not like Man U going to win anything anyway.
But you remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, I had predicted or called for them to swap for Mbappe to go to Man U and for Ronaldo to go to PSG.
No,
that would be a perfect solution.
No, I don't think so.
It's halfway there.
I don't think that's a good solution.
Currently, Man U don't have the pull factor for Mbappe right now, and they're not.
Trust me, Mbappe wants to play in the British League. He wants to play in the Premier. Mbappe wants to play in the Premiership, you know. I disagree. The UK is the media capital of the world.
There's a power issue in Man U right now where Ten Hag wants to show that he's the man, like he's a mini Alex Ferguson. And there are ways of going about it to kind of walk in a team and handle business like that. You have to gain the trust of the players, and I don't think a lot of the players, you can trust him. One last Jordan Sancho played that game.
True. I wouldn't want to play.
Not on the England squad either.
I wouldn't want to play under Ten Hag at all. I think Ten Hag is doing a little ego matching, in my opinion.
It's a battle of egos.
Yeah, it's an ego battle.
Just put the club in a position where they have to choose.
They have to back the manager. They have to back the manager. Yeah, the problem is they have to back the manager. That's what the problem is.
They can't back the manager fully.
But the funny thing is, nobody buys a ticket to go watch Ten Hag coach. They buy a ticket to go watch Ronaldo play. Yeah? Surely.
Put the fans in the stands.
It is what it is. Off the topic of football, let's congratulate Max Verstappen for winning another Formula One.
Did he have a crash with Hamilton last week? Was last week the two man them crash?
Yeah.
What do you think of that crash? You don't think some belly is going round the track?
It's just an unfortunate crash.
No, I don't think it's unfortunate. You don't think Hamilton should have allowed him to pass?
No, well, the team told him to let Max pass, and then at the end he said that let Perez pass the back piece for the points issue, and then Max said no and drove along.
Trust me, that crash looked deliberate to me. I'm not.
So you said last year the crash that Perez did was purposefully done to derail his championship.
Precisely. Yeah. Precisely. So that crash looked like it have some belly in it to me. Yeah, I'm not a very fast. Well, I am a very fast driver, so I can tell you that crash was preventable.
All right, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's just look out for KC at 6:15.
They're
going for it.
Champions Cup.
Yeah.
It's well in the air right now. It's a season. There's one small point, one small thing. I'm kind of disappointed with the World Cup. I think that they should have really given the players that 1 month layoff, and the leagues could have continued with squad depth. Use a squad depth, and then the star players would be off in their training camp or whatever. Because now Sadio Mane is out. French.
And Kuno.
To play so much football gradually through COVID time coming around start the season and beat them.
I was going to talk about that next week, TV rule the world.
Agree with your onion.
TV rule the world, trust me.
1 month break and let them let the squad get for itself. Have a good one, guys.
All right, take it easy.
You see these players' bank accounts? What break? Go and play some football.
Tired legs, kid.
The tired legs? Hey, gotta play. You get paid to play, you play.
Yeah.
If you get paid to play every day, you just play. They get break.
You see these players after time.
The league would be going on right now just the same if it wasn't for World Cup. You'd be playing football. You'd be playing competitive football.
It's a different level of intensity though. World Cup.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports. Hello? Yes, go ahead.
Paco, go ahead, Paco.
Yeah, I hear you guys talking more than number things. I think I put church in perspective.
Yeah. Nice.
Like we were Ronaldo and the whole Manu affair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, because you see, you have to remember, well, maybe the ego thing. I know that's a big issue with Manu and the coach right now. But you have to remember that initially when the Premier League started, Ronaldo started 2 matches. He played 2 matches and Manu lost 2 matches.
Yeah.
They get 4-0 or 2-1 and 4-0.
Ronaldo is not there to defend.
and that is not really the big issue. The big issue is that, and prior to the even start of the English Premier League, Ronaldo missed pre-season for family reasons, which is understood.
Yeah.
However, subsequent to being during the pre-season, his agent was busy looking transfers for him to go to a Champions League team. So I can understand it, put everything in perspective. Ronaldo's mindset wasn't to come back to Man U, because Man U was in Champions League. You understand me?
Yeah.
So how can you see? You have to understand the coach perspective too. The coach had a mandate. his managers to care about the team to Champions League. You understand me? And Ronaldo's mindset is not really to play for Man U because he wanted to go to a Champions League team. So the coach had a serious issue. So right there and then there were conflict. Because he didn't really want to play because they're not playing a Champions League.
But he said he wanted to leave and they stopped him from leaving. They say you have to fulfill your contract. So if he's going to stay, then let him play. You can't.
Alright, stay. You have to understand. I think Ragnick tried with Ronaldo as well.
Yeah.
Play a high-percent football.
Yeah.
Ronaldo can't play high-percent football.
Yeah. Because Ronaldo in his interview is saying that him don't know how Ragnick become the coach. Ragnick is not a coach.
High-percent football again because at 37, you know, so your legs can't make it.
I don't see it, Paco. He was 36 last year, and I saw him playing pretty good football and scoring goals. Last year he was one of the top 5 strikers at 36. 37 is only 12 months later.
Yeah, but
and by the way, Ronaldo is one of the best conditioned athletes in his age group, bar none.
Yeah, he is.
Bar none.
He is.
So don't use typical 37 against a very special person.
I think Paco hit the nail on the head right.
What's the
right?
nail on the head?
No, it had to be something. It could not just be that this coach just come in and just don't like. It had to be something behind closed doors that the public really don't know about.
No.
And no, man. If you really listen to what Paco just said,
yes,
it's no. I don't know. Ronaldo didn't really want to play at Man U because of Champions League and maybe the attitude within the locker room.
Because the operations in and around Man U.
That's what I'm saying.
He's saying that this is not what he's accustomed to.
No, him can't say anything about that part, but Ronaldo contributed to the situation that he's in now.
Hold on, let's just
of course
break it down.
Hold on. The coach can't just come out.
Paco is saying Ronaldo did not want to play. Is that what you think happened? Because hold on, no, Ronaldo came back from training ready to play, and he was kept on the bench.
How you know he's ready to play?
You think he
was ready?
That's what he's. That is what he's saying, Peter.
Hold on, say that again, Paco.
What?
Hold on.
That was not true. He kept on the bench. He played the first 2 matches, full matches.
There's just 2 matches.
And on the strength of those 2 matches that Man U lost, they're putting it all on Ronaldo?
Production and want the team to play. What do you think he might do? He might get results.
I have to go watch.
The reason why
I have to go watch those matches.
The reason why Man U even getting results more so now is because of the defense line. Harry Maguire is not playing. So Ronaldo's on the pitch to score goals. Getting 4 love and losing those first 2 matches has nothing to do with Ronaldo.
The mistakes I see Harry Maguire make and cause
Man U is playing better defensively because Alessandro Martinez and Varane is now injured. And what's his name? Lindelof. So Harry Maguire, the change at the back line.
So you give credit to the coach for that, man.
For what?
For the change.
Ronaldo was not fitting in the man's system.
I mean,
and the context started before the league started.
Then let him go. Ronaldo doesn't mind if you let him go, but they did not letting him go, so him talking out.
Yeah, so that's my question to you. So why not let him go then, Paco? You don't want
why not let him go?
You don't fit in your system.
Yeah, why not let him go?
Nobody wanted him.
How true is it that nobody wanted him? I heard that there's a Saudi Arabian team offered to pay him $370-something million to go play football in Saudi Arabia. No. Tell me about that one. You are not reading that, or me? I'm reading that wrong.
No. I mean, Champions League
team. I understand that, Paco. But Ronaldo said that a team from Saudi Arabia offered $400 million.
Ronaldo is a bit selfish, there, Peter.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Champions League.
Champions League.
So different story then.
Yeah,
right.
Ronaldo is a bit of a selfish kind of guy, though,
Why? Because you want Messi in the goal scoring race.
Good.
I don't think he's a team player. He's all for his stats and for his everybody knows this.
I don't know if you guys ever watch match. I watched him play a couple matches, even in the European League.
Yeah.
The man is off bad.
Yeah, because even so, you have to play yourself into form. I think that could have shown a little faith. And even so, him getting into position and missing goals that him usually score. But even so, he's still the best striker Man U has. Make him
by
play
some
into
distance.
distance.
Rashford went probably 7 games without a goal.
Rashford is...
No, I mean, who's the other striker at Man U? Who's the other striker?
Sometimes, Ronaldo might be the best player, but the team might not perform while he's on the pitch with them. It's a bit like Kyrie Irving. Since Kyrie Irving had playing for Brooklyn, over the past 6-7 games, Brooklyn looked like a different team. You understand? So sometimes...
No, Kyrie is a disruptive element. Yeah.
So you don't think Ronaldo is a disruptive element?
Yes. And that's because of the way they handle.
That's the point. So maybe the coach have something behind some madness.
The show turned into a Ronaldo show.
Paco, go ahead, because we know you want to talk about World Cup.
I wanted to hear Paco's World Cup prediction.
But you see, nobody is telling Ronaldo glory. Ronaldo is great.
Of course.
But let's take it back to last year, though. Look at some of the players who are performing now for money. You know what happened last year? Ronaldo is a customer to them. So they're not good enough. So the whole morale last year was horrible.
Yeah.
Because Rashford, if we discover him farm, I'm saying we discover him farm. Him realize that why Ronaldo now take over the dressing room, he's not in charge no more, the coach in charge.
Yeah.
So you have to understand the perspective there.
Manu still not going anywhere. Manu still not going anywhere.
Ronaldo, as I said, Ronaldo put this on himself. Yeah. I think so.
I just think he want to leave.
Send us disruptive.
Yeah, of course.
Send us a disruptive regime.
Yeah.
Or maybe have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Paco, tell us about World Cup.
Before we go to World Cup, I hear you guys talk about Maradona.
Go ahead.
You see, Maradona scored 34 goals, and that's not about for Argentina. 34 times in 91 games. Messi scored 17, 138. But they put a caveat in. It must recognize that in addition to playing over 200 games less, Maradona was deployed in a much deeper role than Messi for the majority of his career. So you have to understand that. So we can't look on goals and so which one to perform far better than the other. Maradona was more a deeper midfielder than Messi. Messi played more in the head.
Yeah.
That's what the stats said. So we can't just compare goals and say, he scored it.
Paco, how you choose the winner in a football match?
But I mean, Messi plays.
Hold on. No,
Messi plays deep as well.
How you choose the winner in a football match? Goals are deepness. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
But I'm just Messi plays deep as well. He plays deep for PSG.
Deep. I don't think that I don't.
But you can go and assist.
I said a deal. You see, Maradona is a technical football to the players, to the team.
Yes.
There were times when Messi dropping in and us now played nothing. And through the last World Cup, the U2014 is also win. You understand?
They lost in the finals in extra time. They lost in the finals in extra time. Won the goal by Mario Götze.
So that's a good argument.
And then 2018 World Cup, Argentina lost 2 matches, and those 2 matches were to the 2 teams that went to the finals. So he lost to credible opponents. And even so, deep line role, Messi has more assists than, let me say, everybody ever in the sport of football. Messi's goals to game ratio is remarkable. Okay, so I'm just saying, whatever you do or you are good at, Messi does it equal or better. Whether it's deep line, whether it's forward, whether it's out on the wing, whether it's probably even goalkeeping.
When we're separating the great from the greatest, it's about mental for me.
Yes,
it's about mental for me. Not skill. I know Messi probably more skill than Maradona, but it's about mental when you're separating.
I mean, who wins more? Who has won more in their career? Football is not played every 4 years. Football is played every year. Where was Maradona at 17? Where was Maradona at 35? Messi doesn't have a prime. Messi is prime. Messi is Optimus Prime.
Welcome to right?
Wait, 1 second. We need a music track for Kian to do the Messi song.
I'm just saying,
we just need a backtrack, like a beat, and then Kian will rap over.
I watch football every and any day. I watch football any and every day. Messi is prime. Messi doesn't have a prime. All right then. Where was Barcelona before Messi?
Barcelona was a big team, man. Barcelona was a name team.
I was a name. Where was Man U before Sir Alex Ferguson?
Wait. 1 second. there are about 3 teams in the world that great players aspire to go to.
Barcelona.
And Barcelona is one of them.
And do what? And win?
You asked where Barcelona was.
Yeah, but Barcelona wasn't winning.
Yeah, man.
Before Messi, Barcelona has won Champions League.
Barcelona
Won Champions League in 1991 with Rijkaard. So you're telling me Barcelona in their career, since 1898 to one Champions League, Barcelona, and since Messi.
Since Iniesta too, you put in Iniesta and those guys, because Iniesta played a
no,
big
but
role
who is the leader? Of course, other people play a role. Maradona play for Barcelona. Why didn't they win with Maradona?
Listen, I want to get Paco's World Cup prediction.
Go ahead, Paco, because you know this won't stop for now.
But we'll agree that Maradona was stronger mentally than Messi. We'll agree that, right?
So far.
But you make it sound like Messi's mentally weak.
No.
That's what you're painting the picture.
There's a World Cup coming up. Messi have a chance to show us what he can do.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, saying, if Argentina don't win this World Cup, it doesn't tarnish his legacy. It only can enhance his legacy.
I said Messi have a chance to show us things that we have doubts.
I'm gonna do it from 17 to 35.
Still have doubts, man.
You still have doubts?
Yeah, we still have doubts.
Come on, this man is the greatest thing ever touched on football.
So Paco have one thing to say about Messi that I learned from Kane. He is the lily of the valley. He is the brightest morning star. Everybody ought to know who Messi was.
You have to know who that man is.
Yeah. So Paco, what's your team?
Real quick, Paco.
One more time. What's your team?
My team for the World Cup. There's one team in the world.
Yeah, man. One who will go win World Cup.
You can't choose a.
No, at least 2 teams.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But before I go select the teams, so I don't think France going to well in this World Cup.
Okay.
I agree.
People picking up France, I don't think they'll do well because they have an issue with it's not like Papa, they think he needs to deal with. What I say around, everything he wants to take him that PSG.
It's a bit of headache, yeah.
He's a handful though. He's probably one of the 3 best strikers right now.
I don't think France will do well in the World Cup. So the whole thing I look at the permutation, this is a draw. But my choice is really, well, let's go to the vote. Well, the current vote, I should say. Argentina one of my team, as always. But that's South America football where is appealing to me, so that's it. So it's really Brazil have a very good team, but I think they are weak. They are weakness in some aspect of midfield and defense. They're very strong up front. So I don't know what I'm going to pan that road, but we'll see that way. But I think Argentina have the best chance in terms of our own team. They're the big team coming into the World Cup, so apart from the general. But, so that is a good thing. So, but I think all over the players, them have a good stack of players playing our league and playing our world and some top league. So my first choice is with the Argentina, and I'm hoping to see Brazil in the final. But that's a France. And put a touch on Portugal, though. Portugal should perform well. It's a pity that CR7 is 37, because anyone that this team at third at the last World Cup, we should have been better because a lot of good players.
He has better support this year for sure.
Portugal has a deep team.
Yeah.
Portugal has a deep team.
So I think they should do well. They should at least reach it for last week at semi-final. That's Portugal. But I say Argentina and Brazil are the 2 top. All right?
Thank you. I have a question.
Yeah.
Benzema. Is Benzema back in the front? A team with 2 of the recognized 5 best strikers in the world. Benzema and Mbappe. We're ruling them out?
I'm not ruling them out.
Because we can tell you, I think Mbappe's coming into form, you know.
I think.
What about the defense, Kane, and the midfield?
Midfield is injured. Kante is out. Kante is out. Pogba is out.
Big out.
Oh, that's a big loss. That's a big loss because that was the man.
Young striker Nkunku is out too, but I mean they have Tuchemeni and what's his name? They both Camavinga. They both play for Real Madrid, but they're young and club football and World Cup football is a lot of pressure. And I mean, but they are playing in a big team. But I see France. I mean, come to think of it, who wins World Cup back to back? In recent times, few countries, nobody did it.
Almost.
To win World Cup back to back is tough.
World Cup back to back is a hell of a thing.
It's a hell of a thing.
With
Italy did it back in the 30s, but that's the 30s. Brazil did it back in the 50s. That's since then. Who wins World Cup back to back? Nobody.
Yeah, difficult.
Nobody wins World Cup back. So France going deep. I mean, they're in a group that they should come out of. Australia and Tunisia, I don't see them upsetting the upper card. Denmark might give them a handful. Denmark, I mentioned earlier, is a dark horse team. So to top the group with even is going to be tough.
So you disagree with my theory about the mathematical group of death versus the journalistic group of death?
But it's just a matter of picking out where see upsets can happen. Like being, that's going to be a tough group where you have four countries.
So what does group of death mean? Is the most even group? Because that's what group of death is now meaning this year.
Yeah, basically.
Group of death mean the most even group.
And where you see that you can't really pick clear-cut people to come out the group. Or even so, you have a team that
I think Iran is an underrated team.
Morocco is an underrated team.
And I tell you something, I think England quietly afraid of Wales. I can't believe this. I know. No, that's why them call it Wales. I think England quietly afraid of Wales. And the thing is, can you imagine England not backing themselves against the USA? Me or England people are talking about this is the best US team ever. Is this the best USA team ever?
No.
I think it's probably the weakest US team ever that I can recall.
No man, it's not a strong US team.
They're saying it's the best US team. I think it's because they expect to lose.
When them start set up an excuse already.
Yes, and calling it the group of death. Group of what death? Is an average group of average teams.
Yeah, but do the group of France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia. You don't expect Australia and Tunisia to. We see where France and
you have clear favorites.
Yeah, France.
That's why I mentioned the variation between
Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland.
Say again?
Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland, Argentina.
Don't underrate Poland.
Don't underrate Mexico.
There's Mr. What's his name again? Mr. Striker.
Lewandowski.
And Poland have some good baller.
Yeah.
Mexico don't have a well-known striker this year.
Mexico is not as strong as previous years.
Jimenez.
They're not as strong as previous.
Yeah, but Mexico is not a team, it's a system. Mexico is a bunch of little short men scarpering around.
Yeah, man, gritty.
There's a lot of pressure when you play against Mexico.
I have Argentina and Mexico coming out of the group.
Argentina and Mexico.
I don't blame you because if you watch Mexicans play ball, it's not so much about the individuals.
Yeah,
I've watched many Mexican teams and only know one or two men on the team.
They play what?
You might know the goalie, you might know Chicharito and Blanca and those guys. But Mexico generally is not a team ridden with stars.
And they have good World Cup history.
Yes.
Always in the quarters, round of 16. Mexico always get there.
As strong as the USA. I would say they're every bit as strong as the USA. But
England,
Canada was the CONCACAF champion this year. And I hear nobody talking about Canada. What happened to the two guys?
That's why I have that group.
No man, there's a guy in a Canada team I saw in Alphonse name?
Alphonse, Davis. Alphonse Davis.
Yes man, that man is a baller.
Yeah. And they have what's his name up front plays in France. One of the top goal scorers for Lille is Jonathan David.
Canada can come out them group, man.
Canada,
Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco. And we know the Croatians, they went to the finals last year.
Is Modric playing this year?
Modric playing.
That's a tough group.
Modric a big baller, you know.
I have Belgium dropping out early.
You know, that's a tough group. That probably be.
Okay. That's why they call me the Schwab. That's why they call me the Schwab.
Why is England in the group of death?
No.
Who says that? I didn't say that.
Who said that?
That's the group that called Group E. Is it Group E?
No, Group E is Spain, Costa Rica,
Which group
Germany.
of England? Which group of England?
Group B.
Me.
No man. Okay.
But
that's
Spain,
the group they call the group of death.
Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, Japan. We have Spain and Germany.
Yeah, man, go with the Japanese.
You're going to Japanese over the Germans? Over the Spanish?
I think Japan gonna upset one of them.
I don't think Germany is that strong, you know.
Germany. They lost in the first one last World Cup. Yeah, they didn't come out of the group.
But they're not on form now.
Yeah,
they're not on top form right now. But I mean, Spain and Germany. I have Spain and Germany coming out. I have Spain and Germany. I mean, the Germans also historically World Cup.
Tournament
team. No matter what form.
You need to announce that next week, Kane will be competing. And so there'll be no Primal next week.
Yes.
As this show's big star will be away.
Exactly.
I guess he'll be coming back with some trophies.
I'll be doing a rally in somewhere in the world. I think I'm going to take up rallycross.
So we won't have a show next week.
Yeah. Yes, but I'll be away.
Yes, we can have a rerun, Peter.
But even so, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. Straightforward group?
Brazil, Serbia. Yeah, why? Cameroon didn't look that good when I saw them. Switzerland always give trouble. Serbia always have ballers.
Yeah.
I don't. That's a tough group.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has Brazil clean up the group. I'm not so sure about that.
Good World Cup.
I have Serbia scoring in every match they're playing. So I have Brazil and Serbia coming out. I mean, Switzerland had a good Euros last year. So it's somewhat of a testy group, but I mean, 17 days of football at its peak. World
What
Cup.
are the show times in our region? I hear we have a show at 9 in the morning. There will be match time.
Teams.
And then, so it will be 9 and probably midday and then 3 o'clock. So the business people who have businesses to run will have a hard time keeping workers in.
I mean,
are they going to come work?
Even so, tomorrow's first match will be at 11 a.m. Jamaica time.
It's a good time.
I mean, Monday, where we're starting with 3 matches a day.
Yeah.
England at 8 versus Iran. Senegal and Netherlands at 11. And USA, Wales at 2 p.m. So for most match days, it's that we have Tuesday.
Matches.
But no, Tuesday we start at 5 a.m.
Now go on.